Hey guys, Michael from Copper vs Glass. Now a lot of channels do some videos on some games with really great graphics and just in general the newest up-to-date games. Well, what I'm doing today is a video on some 8-bit style games that I've gone and found on the Play Store. Now these aren't necessarily the best ones out there in terms of popularity, but they're ones that I'm really enjoying playing at the moment. So let's take a look at my top 5 8-bit games that you may not know about. Now we're starting off with Dude Ski, which is a very simple game where you need to ski down a mountain and keep going for as long as you can, and in total there are 4 mountains to conquer. You need to tap on the left and right hand side of the screen to actually move your character, and tap both thumbs on the screen to jump. The aim of the game is to pick up as many pine cones as you can, and conquer all of the mountains, of which there are 4, and just in general the game is very simple and very easy to play. Now a lot of the games on these lists are going to be pick up and play games that you don't really need to invest too much time in, and Dude Ski is a perfect example of a game where you can just pick it up, play it for 30 seconds to a minute and still get some enjoyment out of it at the end of the day. Next on the list is a game called Fury. Now to start off, there's 3 characters to choose from that you can unlock while you actually play the game itself, and the aim of the game is to swipe up, down, left and right to basically hit the bears off of the platform. Now if you don't hit the bears, they're unfortunately going to eat you and then it is game over. So again, it's a very simple game that doesn't really require too much concentration. However, when there are a lot of bears on screen, as you can see now, it does get quite hard and unfortunately you will die. My top score is around 29 I think at the moment, and as you can see you've got different varieties in terms of the stages as well that you're going to be playing on, but the bears themselves don't vary and the character that you play doesn't vary, but in general it's a very simple game that you can just pick up and play, and again you don't have to invest too much time in it. Next up, and probably my favourite on the list, is Magic Touch. You play a wizard who has to protect his castle, and you have to do spells to get rid of the enemies above you by popping the balloons. Now to do that you have to draw the corresponding shape down below, it will pop the balloon and then the enemy is done for. It's a very simple game, and the letters and things that you have to draw and the shapes can get quite complicated at times. It starts off very simple with some V's and lines going up and also to left to right, but then you get some harder characters and also multiple characters that have multiple balloons that you need to pop in one go. So as you can see, when there's more enemies on screen it can get quite complicated, like this shape just here, and just in general the game itself plays very well and the frame rate is incredibly good. I've not had any issues with slowdown or anything, and although it is an 8-bit game, the graphics themselves do still look really nice and really modern as well. I'd highly recommend this game, and again it's a very simple free to play game that I would recommend you go download right away. Next up on the list is RollUp Polar, and again this game is very fun to play. You're basically a polar bear on top of a snowball rolling down a hill, and the aim of the game is to jump over things that the snowball picks up along the way. So once there's a rock attached you jump, and you basically have to avoid as many obstacles as you can, and you do actually need to double jump for some taller obstacles, which unfortunately I missed just here, and as you can then see it is game over. Now initially my high score was only 3, so it is quite a hard game to play, and the timing and things need to be just right to avoid bigger obstacles, but just in general the graphics look really nice, and it kind of reminds me of an E-Boy Poster, who's a really nice digital artist, and just in general the gameplay is very smooth, very fluid, and once again if there's a lot of things getting attached to your snowball, unfortunately it is going to get quite complicated, and you do really need to take note. As you can see there's a moose here which unfortunately hits me, but again it's a really fun free to play game. There are ads as with a lot of these games, but they don't really kind of take away from the gameplay experience too much. You can pay to remove the ads, but in my opinion they don't really interfere too much, and like I say it's free, so why would you want to pay any money to actually play the game? Lastly we have Tiny Tennis. With this one all you really need to do is swipe your character from left to right to return the tennis balls hit by the coach down on the bottom of the screen. What you also need to do is avoid some water bottles that fall, and the aim of the game is really just to hit as many balls back as you can to get your multiplier up. Now it's not really tennis because tennis is back and forth play between 2 people. This is more of a returning the ball game because obviously you're playing against the coach who's just hitting balls at you, which you need to then hit back. So there's not really all that much strategy to it, and the game itself is very simple to play, although getting a high score does take some time. You'll only be getting around 10 points or so per ball that you hit, and again there are ads in the game because it is a free to play game, but again like the previous games that I've mentioned, the ads don't really impact the actual gameplay all that much, if at all, but it's a very solid, very easy to play game and one that I can definitely recommend. And that is going to do it, guys. A lot of these games are just designed to actually kind of take up some of your time, but not all that much really. And you can just pick up and play when you need to, or if you've got a spare couple of minutes. All the games that I've mentioned, all 5 of them are completely free in the Play Store, and I will have them linked in the description bar down below. If you guys have got any questions about any further games you want me to have a look at here on Copper vs Glass, or just in general any comments about the games that I've done in this video, be sure to leave them in the comment section down below or on Twitter. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. For more great content, don't forget to subscribe, and I'm Michael from Copper vs Glass. Thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.